Recording.
Okay. Gilbert, did you record?
Record.
Okay, start recording.
You.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Aina nini.
Right.
Kotapka doesn't have space in this thing. Record to cloud.
Okay. Oh.
Enable somebody else who is not in Kotapka to record. You can enable another host to record into their systems.
Okay, Gilbert, record to your computer. You said recording?
Now give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they can take 5 extra minutes.
I think we should be, we can pray and then start as you do that. It doesn't let me record to my iCloud on my end.
Let's see.
Karibuni nimeng'ara aje kweli kweli. Hata naona wako ready kuingia office day one kabisa. It's good.
Gladys, you're muted.
There we go. Sorry. Okay. Karibuni sana. Pole. I think someone muted me. My name's Gladys Tanui for those who do not know me. Karibuni sana. And we will start this session with a word of prayer. Let's pray. Angesa. Almighty God, Almighty Father, we come before you tonight. We give you thanks. We give you adoration. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the gift of community. We thank you for the gift of leadership. We thank you, Father, because you've been able to help us get to this session. We hope that you will give us the wisdom to be able to respect each other, to be able to have a cordial conversation. And even as we all talk, Father, help us so that we can get GI to the next level. I put all the speakers and all the candidates in your hands, Father. May you be with them and may you protect them. I pray this believing and trusting in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I pray. Amen. Gilbert, are you able to record?
I'm almost there. Just
Okay.
a minute or two yet.
Okay. And we'll also be going live on YouTube. So as we can have those two and avenues of actually tuning in later. So karibuni sana. And I see we have about 39 people in the chat. Hopefully more people are joining. Let's share the link so that we can have more people join. Maybe people forgot, but that will help us if we can have everybody so we can avoid a lot of questions later. Okay.
I think there are other teams that are having Zoom meetings too. That's probably.
Oh, is there? Okay. Well, for the interest of time, then we'll just proceed and people can maybe view the recorded session later. So as we're waiting to let us know, Gilbert,
Gladys, you can record if you're the one having the, if you're the
I
one
did.
who's the
It
host.
doesn't, the GI thing is full.
Just go to more.
I did.
And then when you click recording, I think you should be able to record to the cloud.
I did all that and it doesn't let me on mine. Maybe it's just
okay, unless you guys need to then create some space.
Okay. Let me see here. Upgrade. It just gives me the options to upgrade. And I tried to, and they said they couldn't. So anyway, I think in the interest, we have YouTube going, so that's fine. I think we can we just use that recording from YouTube, or would that be a protocol?
No, absolutely. We can use that, Gladys, because of
Hmm?
the time, and we can use that one.
Yeah, let's
YouTube.
just use that so we can
Yeah.
start. Let's just use
Yeah.
that so we can start. Okay. All right. Karibuni tena. And again, my name's Gladys. I'm going to, without further ado, I'm going to just introduce our moderator for tonight. I think most of you are familiar with him, Mr. Nicholas Lele. He was here with us a couple of days ago for the presidential debate. This is somebody that is a seasoned multimedia journalist, background in mass communication, broadcast, print media. He's also philosophy and literature and an IT, a lot of things, A+ certified. He has a ton of experience. He's a freelance worker. He's worked with the People Daily, the Standard, Cast International. He's an anchor, he's an editor, he's a producer, he's a program host, and he's interviewed a lot of presidents, not just our GI presidents here, but also like Kenyan presidents and all the politicians back home. So without further ado, we want to welcome Mr. Nicholas Lele. He will help us get this going. We will start with the national coordinators, and then we will go to VPs later. The national coordinators know the order of how they're going to be called. So let's make sure everybody can speak. Moderator, are you able to speak? Can we hear
Good
you?
evening.
All right. And then Jane, are you able to speak? Can we hear you?
Yes. Can you
All
hear me?
right. And then Oscar, I think you had spoken. Are you still able to speak? All right. And then Mr. Bitok, can you say hello?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then Gilbert, are you able to speak without being?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
I will give it to the moderator. Karibu sana, Mr. Lele. This is your chance. We'll be here listening. Thank you. And everybody's on YouTube. So your best smiles forward. Karibuni.
We
Mr.
can't hear
Lele.
Mr. Lele.
Mr. Lele.
Katany kutitab chego kotomo kewech kutit kwa Kiingereza. Chamgei tugul kotab gaa, chamgei bororietab Kalenjin, chamgei kotab Sobon. Kikurenon Nicholas Arap Lele kuye kaokas katach nguni eng tetutioni bo debate. Kinomi tetutioni kebeberta nebo national coordinators. Good evening and welcome all the audiences and most importantly the president, the national coordinators, and as well I am aware for the next session the vice president candidates are already on board. This will be a 1-hour session that we will run this debate for the national coordinators, which I will ask questions as a moderator, and at that point again, I will allow 2 minutes introduction, 1 minute of answering questions, and a minute of rebuttal. Please utilize your time because this is unlike the presidential debate that we had 2 hours. At this point, I would like to thank everyone that has come on board, and most importantly, the candidates that have availed themselves so that they can be scrutinized through this debate for the purpose of Car International getting the right officials to steer the organization to the next the next move they look for. And I'm avoiding the word next level because someone would claim that I'm campaigning for them. Once again, my name is Nicholas. I was here last week moderating the presidential debate. For that reason, I want to make a statement. And please, Gladys, time me for this statement so that I will recompense the candidates of their time eaten by my statement. Now, this is my statement.
You want me to time you for the statement you said?
Yes, so that I will give back this time at the top of the hour,
Okay.
because we need to give them 1 hour.
Okay.
And
8:19. Okay.
this is my statement. I am here as a professional, that I do not allow partiality and prejudice to mask my duties as a moderator, whether in this forum or any other forum. I do diligence as it is required of a professional of the caliber I am. It is because of what seems to have happened after the presidential debate that some, for their own reasons, undertook to think like I was unfair. Indeed, a minute ago, someone who texted me has already texted me not to ask irrelevant questions. I do not ask irrelevant questions to any candidate, but I ask relevant questions. However, it should be a warning to any candidate that avail themselves for such a debate to ensure themselves and they are ready for the task they have called themselves into. This matter for today, we have candidates that have called themselves to run for the national coordinator's office and the vice president's office. Please, while I'm moderating this, I will ask questions relevant to the office and that which will enable your voters to choose accordingly or elect their choice. That said, it's also important for any candidate to know that they have thrown themselves into a race, that they can win or lose depending on their credibility and the judgment of the voter and not the moderator. It behooves, therefore, the candidate to remember this when they're answering questions, and the voter also to help themselves by understanding the questions and not to personalize anything about this debate. It is important that we go with a professional perspective and not personal. However, since this, although the bylaws of Kotapka says the organization is apolitical, let me use the exact word that the Kotapka has used, non-political. So if Kotapka is apolitical, then it follows that everyone should remain objective. However, the process of electing leadership, in as much as Kotapka is apolitical, is political. That is why you are campaigning, and that is why we have a debate. Therefore, while you grieve if you lose or if you feel you have lost in a debate or any other forum, please remain objective and calm. Don't tear into any other person. Let's be respectful to the end. Nicholas Delay is my name, and I welcome you now to the beginning of our national coordinators debate that will last for 1 hour. It is 8:23 by my clock. I expect that I will give you to the time of 9:23. We begin. Welcome all of the candidates, and I would like to make sure every and each of the candidates are audible enough and visible to this forum. We have 3 candidates for this office, and I would like to welcome each and every one of you. Abraham Rotich, may I hear your voice just to confirm you are audible for the debate to go on?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is another name that I really struggle to pronounce. Ekalistas Kogo. I would have wished to know the meaning. Let me hear your voice.
You got it right. I'm here.
Thank you. Heb Bitok.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Jane Kipchirchir.
I'm here, sir. I mute so that I get background noise out.
No problem. Oscar Keino.
Here,
Daktari.
sir. Here, sir.
Thank you. I mentioned all the 5 candidates for the purposes because I had mentioned you are here. Nonetheless, we have to begin with the 3 national coordinators. Eb Bitok, Jane Kipchirchir, and Dr. Oscar Keino. Let me reverse it. Dr. Keino, introduce yourself.
Chamke Gotap Kalenjin, Chamke Gotap Ka, Chamke Gotap Chigo. My name is Dr. Keino Oscar. I am a husband and a father of 2. So I was born and raised in Nakuru, and before relocating to Nandi, a place called Kaplemur, near Dalat or near Kaptebe, I went to the Kapsabet Boys High School. After Kapsabet Boys High School, I went to Eldoret Polytechnic, where I studied chemical engineering. After Eldoret Polytechnic, I went to the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, where I studied industrial chemistry, where I was the student president. After that, I moved to the United States of America to do a graduate assistantship scholarship in chemistry, material science, and engineering. After that, I moved I joined the United States Air Force, where I studied PhD in material science and engineering. So yeah, when I joined United States Air Force, I made it a very clear experience to make sure that I use my profession to help our people. Professionally, I have spent several years working in semiconductor chips for design and experiment. I do it for the defense contracting, where I work for B2 Spirit Bomber. Beyond my professional career, I'm a very passionate man, and I like mentoring people. I like mentoring young people. Since coming to United States, 47 students on to get fully funded graduate assistantship scholarship in master's and PhD. I also mentored students to join the United States Air Force, where I was asked by the current Kotapka president to come and talk about United States Air Force in Alabama, where I did that passionately. Currently, I'm working on securing scholarships. I have several scholarships here to help our community thrive very well. I am seeking for the position of national coordinator. I'm seeking for a position to link the chapters, the 52 chapters, the 52 states into the national state, the national Gotapka. May God bless you. Vote for Oscar Keino.
Thank you. You perfectly used your time. Gladys. Gladys, are you able to hear me?
You, yes, sir.
Please, if there's a way that we can view that, I'm not able to see the candidate as they speak, if they can be able to be seen. Now we go to Jen Kipchirchir. Introduce yourself, 2 minutes.
Wamune Gotapka, Wamune Bikyog, Wamune Tupchoshekyog. I am Jen Kipchirchir, a member of Gotapka DC, proud mom of 3 accomplished daughters and a registered nurse. I am blessed to be also a member of the international Gotapka International. I am here to seek the position of the national coordinator. I have experience serving in the community. I have worked as an ASSIS member. ASSIS is a 501c organization that caters for the education people in Kenya. I have worked for Kenya Look Medical Foundation. I took a team of nurses and doctors. We went last year together for a medical mission in Kenya. I have served as a board member in the county where I am for a group of Kenyans, and I'm proud of that. I am a member of, I was a member of the Legatia executive team where I performed the role that is equivalent to the role that is for the national coordinator. I am a member of our Faraja DC, the benevolent fund in Katabka DC, whereby with a team of other 4 people, for 5 of us, we were able to write the bylaws and, we ran that organization. So I have that qualification and I come here to present myself for the national coordinator position. I look forward to chatting with all of you, and hopefully you see why I am running and give me the vote. Thank you, GEB. Thank you, Mr. Lele. Dr. Lele, is it Mr. Lele? Sorry, for giving us this opportunity to be here today. Kongwe.
Thank you so much. I do not claim a doctoral title. I remain Nicholas Lele. The last candidate to introduce himself is Bitok.
I almost call you Dr. Lele, but Mr. Lele, thank you. Gladys and everybody else here, my name is Abe Bitok. I am the current national coordinator for Patapka. I'm honored to say I'm privileged, and I've been working with this group for the last 2 years. Originally, I'm from Eldoret, a place called Kabulgan. I came to this country in 1996. I've been honored to be part of Patapka for a long time. Tonight, I stand before you asking to be reelected for the position that I took 2 years ago. And I took the position with intention because I needed the quorum. We needed things that can enhance where we're heading as South Africa. So my background is an educator, and some of you have heard this. I've been a coach. I've been an athletic director. I've been a dean for a college. I've been a vice president for a college. At the same time, right now, I hold a position that is director of support services. I'm privileged to be supervising 273 people in my position with different groups that lay under me. The reason I decided to run back is to help Kotak move to the next level. And that next level is we have settled the disagreements, we have settled the behaviors. So my job now is to try to elevate Kotak to the next level. I'm really honored to be running with these 2 candidates that are respectable. I know Oscar, we let him speak last year. Jane and I have had conversation about certain things we disagree on, but I'm one of those candidates that you will not see me post a lot of things. You will not see me make a lot of noise. I'm result driven. Result driven, say I'm gonna push for the right thing. You will never see me try to advertise myself. I just want to work. This is a nonprofit organization. I have background writing grants. I brought millions of dollars to the university I work for. And my next opportunity to work for Vatapka is to flip the coin and try to bring money in, even though that's not really a national coordinator place. So I'm an older person that I believe that guiding East Vatapka to the next level is what I believe in. I really appreciate you guys. I'm really excited the fact that the national coordinator got a chance to debate. I'm looking forward to it. Mr. Lele, I'm looking forward to this debate. So thank you so much for missing you and Gladys and everybody on this team. And I'm gonna end with this. No matter who, we'll all be brought up, we'll all be part of Qatar. Don't go missing. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. I think I was on mute. Okay. Now that everybody has introduced yourselves, let me now begin with the lady in the house, the only lady in the house to be the first one to go on this. 1 minute and a half, please. Tell us how you understand Hotapka and the office you are running for. Kipchirchir Jen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Gadapka International is a place that was created to inspire, connect, and economically empower members through education, networking, investment opportunities, and cultural awareness, with a vision of uniting members and providing a platform where talents, leadership, culture, and innovation are nurtured. And the role of the national coordinator starts with the responsibility of managing and directing internal and external communication, overseeing public relations, creating communication strategies, serving as a spokesperson and media contact when needed, and coordinating communication from chapters to leaders and from leadership to chapters. That is the role of the national coordinator. And so in order for Gatapka to perform the mission and vision that it has to have a person who communicates what that mission and vision is. That person is the national coordinator. And that person has been given tasks and responsibilities according to the bylaws. My goal is to be able to perform that mission of Gatapka by
Thank you. Your goal you are to state when you are introducing yourself. No, that is point. If you missed it, you missed it. Daktari Kano. The same question.
Yes, sir.
How do you understand Kotapka International and the responsibilities of the national coordinator?
Chamke Gotapka, Chamke Gutitap, Kotap Gutit. I understand Gotapka as a place whereby people from different backgrounds in all the Kalenjin communities come to congregate in the United States of America. I understand that in that essence, we have people who need educational mentorship, you have people who need the cultural preservation, and you have people who need to be supported in one way or another. As a national coordinator, as a member of Kotapka, Ohio chapter, my work in this role is to coordinate all those, to communicate from chapter to chapter, giving it to the national level. My work is to make sure that the digital presence of these communities who are coming all the way from Kenya to come and stay in the United States of America have their voice to be represented in Gotapka International. How am I going to do that? I've already done that in a way that I can bring students through scholarships. I've already 47 students in my hand, under my belt. I have several students that I've mentored to join the United States Air Force. I've helped write grants. I own Jawabu Rehabilitation Center in Kenya. I was given 30 million Kenyan shillings. I am able to coordinate chapter to international, chapter to Gotapka International. Vote for Oscar Kano. Bye. You are muted, sir.
Sir, I think given that you have said how you will do it, and your sister did not say that, I will give her seconds to say it. How she will do it, because I needed us to understand what we are doing. So far, Kano, is it Dr. Kano? You have done it. So Bitok.
Thank you, Mr. Lele, and thank you to the candidates. I think the question is, what do you understand about the role of a national coordinator? Let me start by a very simple statement. National coordinator is not an independent position. It's a position that calls for collaboration from the executive team to the chapters. The last 2 years, I've been able to experience this position and did what I thought is the right thing to do. So national coordinator is supposed to, one, unite the groups, which is different groups. By now, all of you guys know everybody have different opinions. Every chapter have their own strategic way of running their chapter. They're small chapters, they're big chapters, but all of them embrace Katapka as a unit. But the functionality of those chapters are dependent on the leaders and everybody else. So my role for the last 2 years, and I've done this, is working with every chapter to figure out what do they want, what can we do to bring unity, and the last thing is what has happened this year. Based on the work we have done with the present administration, we see the results. One of our results is 2,000 plus members. One of our results is we have more people wanting to run for offices. One of our results is we're all excited about the future of Katapka. So when you talk of a national coordinator position, it's about figuring what is good for the organization versus what is good for the position. So as I run again for this position, I'm not a title-based person. I have titles with my job. This organization is a selfless organization. You gotta give all you can. And there's proven record at this point that what we are doing is working. What we have done has worked. And as we move forward, I see a lot of changes that need to happen from the bylaws, from how we do things, how we run things. And I'm one of those people that success of Katapka depends on all of us. And I will not say things like I'm just one person. Today we have 2,000 plus members. I will rely on the 2,000 plus members to take it to the next level. So that's my answer, sir, to your question. And it's not an independent position, it's an inclusive position for everybody that is elected. And that starts with the executive team, the board, and all the members, including all
Your
the.
minute is over.
Thank you.
Good. Now we start the game. You had a time to introduce yourself. Dr. Not Abe, before you exit, I start with you the next part of the question. And the way I start, I have this comment to put before you. On my research, I found this. This is Abe talk around May 26th, 26th. Kotapka is not it, whether I win or no. What did you mean by these words when you acknowledge it is your words?
First of all, I acknowledge my words. I'm going to repeat what I said. I win or I don't win. I have a life as a father. I have a life as a human being. So all these conversations that happen with Katapka is our life will continue. And I want to make this clear. Context matters. I think that question, whoever is asking you the question is, I'm not going to twist things. I will support Katapka, I win or I don't. And I'm going to make that clear. I'm an older person. I've lived in this country for 30 plus years. So the concept that I say that is life continue beyond Katapka for me, you, and everybody else. So I stand with my statement, and I'm going to urge people to say, do not twist my words. My words say we all have lives here. Tomorrow, all of us end GI conference. We move into our lives. We continue. But I stand that I will support Katapka. But Katapka is not my life. Katapka is what I do for them, for you guys, for everybody in this organization. I have a life, and I think people are twisting what I said. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Kano.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Kano, these are your words. Are you going to own it or deny it? If you give God obligatory opposition, the organization will fall.
Thank
Did
you
you
for
say?
thank you for asking me that question, sir. I said to my worthy competitor when she said during the got up car DC, I asked her vote for me. She said no, 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 no. They should vote for me because I come from got up Legatia. I told her if we go that direction, we will fall down. Why? Because if you say you are going to be voted because you are from got up Legatia, and I come there and say vote for me because I'm a veteran, we will fall down. Let the people vote by virtue of merit. I come to you people. I come to Gotapka International. I come to Gotapka, Gotap Kutit, with the following qualifications. I'm going to help us get scholarships. I'm going to help our students get into, if you want to go to military, you can go through military. I'm going through to achieve all through this through what? Through communication. Gotapka as a national coordinator, I have to manage internal communication. I have to manage the external communication. I have to help the veterans. We've lost many veterans here. We need to we need to find a way to help them.
Daktari,
Yes, sir.
I don't want to go a route of asking you how you uphold the title because you had it anyway as Daktari. But what is your position as we stand about ladies' gender?
Ladies, ladies are amazing. I have a daughter. I have a wife. They're amazing. They are qualified to lead Gotapka. We have the president currently. Gotapka did not fall when we had the president. We have had the previous president. It did not fall when that lady was there. What I'm saying is this: let the electorates measure us by virtue of qualification, not by virtue of gender. Thank you.
Could you have regretted that your words could be used or twisted or spinned when you pronounce it?
Thank you so much for that question. I was advised by Sange Julia that your words can be twisted very easily. And I apologize to my worthy competitor for saying that.
Are you apologizing to the all Kotapka?
Absolutely, yes. I'm apologizing to all the ladies, to my wife and to my daughter, that all of them are worthy to run for any office by virtue of qualification and by virtue of being a member of Kotapka. Thank you.
Thank you. We end those quotes at that point, and let me bring on board Jen for different questions, the set of questions. Jen, what tools are you intending to use in your coordination task?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, proceed.
Okay. First of all, we have a WhatsApp group. That's the tool number one. And it has functioned very well. And it will continue to function very well because all of us have our phones 24/7, whatever job you're doing. The major thing when it comes to WhatsApp, and we have seen in the GI forum, is a lot of negativity, a lot of toxicity, whereby even our own family members have exceeded. So WhatsApp is a powerful tool that we will use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create two WhatsApp group, one purely for communication so that WhatsApp doesn't have to be closed every often for an announcement or when people post things. So they're going to be clear guidelines. The other tool is because we are on empowering our youth. Most of our youth are in LinkedIn. We are a 501c organization. We will figure out how to now have the youth showcasing Kotapka in LinkedIn because that's where the mentors and everybody is there. We will continue using the Zoom recordings, and because the presidential candidates have said they're gonna revamp their website, we will have all those recordings there. And whenever we have a recording there, we will use WhatsApp to communicate to the members that go to the website, go listen to the recording for whatever education or any recording that pertains to them. That will be there. Then we will also do, I will also work on having an e-newsletter. So like when we go to Iowa, we go take all those pictures, we have all these activities that are happening. We want to convert that also into an e-newsletter where we can send to members and they can have access to that in the portal. Those are very important. We have Facebook, we'll continue using that. We are talented with young professionals who are good on TikTok, we'll continue to use that. And of course, we have YouTube, which we need to utilize that, especially
Your time might expanded. I am allowing you 10 seconds to say which side are you vying with. We have a groups, Team Change, Team Next Level.
So
which you
currently,
just said.
okay, at this moment, I'm going to align myself with Team Change.
Thank you. That's it. The next
Mr.
candidate
Lele,
is...
can I make a comment for what you just said? A couple of things I want to clarify. One, I don't think an organization like Katapka should have two WhatsApp. This is a legitimate 501c organization. We shouldn't be having different camps. Secondly, we talked about the website. The website is functional. We talk about YouTube. I created the
That,
YouTube. So I
Bitok,
just want to make sure that is clear.
Bitok, please. You cannot progress to question. You cannot ask a moment to the rebuttal or to clarify something that you did not need to clarify. You
Okay.
did not need to clarify.
Thank
You
you.
are out of order for that.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Okay, Dr. Kano, before we come back to Bitok.
Yes, sir.
What tools are you intending to use?
I am a member of Kotapka International. I own a website called Jawabu Rehabilitation Center. Kotapka International has a website. I'm intending to use that tool. I'm intending to use social media because as a national coordinator, I need to manage the communication, both internal and external. I'm supposed to do the digital presence. I've had a privilege to do the digital presence with the current president, William Ruto. I intend to utilize that so that I can bring effective communication to Agotapka. When I say that I stand from the team change, I am a team change. And anybody who is coming to team change should be able to clarify that I'm already there as a team change. If you are coming to support the president, that's okay. But I'm a team change as a national coordinator. The tools I'm using, I've used Jawabu Rehabilitation Center. I've used the digital presence for Twitter and X. I've used the Facebook when I was marketing the Gotapka in Alabama. I've used several tools to help us communicate to Gotapka. It is not about me. I'm trying to market our Gotapka. Thank you.
Well said. Time up. Thank you. Now we go back to Abe. What are your tools?
Thank you, Mr. Lele. We have tools in place. Katapka have tools. Let me start with a very simple one. WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp that is called official Katapka WhatsApp that we've been using. We feel like it's effective for now, but as we grow the organization, we need to change into something else. We have a website, and if you
Mr. Abe, when
yes.
you say we feel, are you talking as a group or you are talking as an individual?
Okay, I should use other words. We have these things in place, and when I say we feel is if we're gonna write grants, if we're gonna do other things, we can no longer use WhatsApp to be the channel of communication for organization that is growing over 2,000 people. So maybe that's the clarification. So we have WhatsApp, we have website, which is Atapka website. We have YouTube that I started that has over 20,000 people now. We have our regular communication one-on-one. So what tools do I think we need to move forward with? One, we need to really enhance our website. We need to sell the website. I look at this like Amazon. I look at this like any other website, CNN. We'll go to CNN because we trust they will give us the right information for all the chapters, for everybody else moving forward. We'll have a website that will be vibrant for the chapters and it will be reliable information. What's up? Anybody can twist anything and it will be read and it will be believed. So that's what it is. And things like LinkedIn, I know my time is up. LinkedIn is not designed for this kind of nonprofit organization. Thank you.
When you say we can no longer use WhatsApp for an organization that is growing 2,000 people, I'm interested in knowing how vast you are in technology.
I'm privileged, sir, to be one of those people that came from Kenya that I didn't know how to type. And I'm privileged to say this. I've built systems and I've built organizations that are viable in this country as a foreign person. So when I talk about what's up in relation to an organization, and I'm talking about a true organization like the university I work for, they don't have WhatsApp. We have 8,000 students. So when I look at it, is my attitude towards WhatsApp is it's a good tool. Don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna grow as an organization, we need to figure what is our communication mod. The other thing I have, and Lele can
Okay,
help with
that
this.
said, that said, the more you talk, the more you bring more questions about it. What is the delimitation of WhatsApp to your knowledge?
It's too busy. One, it's too busy for us to read what is happening. People post every second. It doesn't work. And I was to say this, Lele. My dream.
Thank you, Daktari. I mean, you're not Daktari. You're Bitok. You say you don't respect titles so much. So, Dr. Abe, I am not sure whether you know that WhatsApp has controls but that is for the audience who understand technology to judge that. We proceed to the next question. The next candidate, I would like to get from the next candidate, and in respect to our time, what does the bylaws, or rather because of time, let me get out of that. What is needful, Kipchirchir? What have you identified as a needful object that you need to work on when you get to office as a GI national coordinator?
Okay, one of the key things is uh, bylaws, whereby based on what has happened, and I'm going to use this as an example, is that I've observed in the forum whereby we've had board members coming out and, unleashing on other board members or calling them names. I believe that's something that needs to be changed in the bylaws so that board members remain board members, and they do, they board and act on behalf of the people who have sent them there, because most board members are GI representative from different chapters. The other thing that I would love to be effected in the bylaw is the president being both the president of the organization and the president of the board. I believe that really needs to be changed so that we can have someone accountable for someone who takes the other person accountable for. So those are the two main ones that I can say right now.
Thank you. Dr. Kano,
Yes, sir.
I hope I have not skipped you in any. The same question. Have you identified any needful area? If you assume office today, it will be your responsibility. What is it?
Thank you, sir. I'm running as a national coordinator. I think some disconnect between the leaders and the national coordinator position. Let me explain. The president, the current president, doesn't have to overstep and work as a national coordinator. Me, personally, Oscar Kano, professor, I'm running as a national coordinator so that I can bring the communication. I can manage the internal and external communication. The president doesn't need to do that. I can do that effectively. I am supposed to come here and do the public relations as a national coordinator. I'm supposed to be the face of Kotaka. If I'm going to bridge the gap between the coordination in the upper chambers and the lower chambers, I need to do it effectively. I've done it before, sir. I've worked in Alabama when I was marketing the people to join the United States Air Force. I've had a chance to work with the current president through the X or Twitter. I've had a chance to communicate with people through YouTube. I've had a chance to create my own website for Jawabu Rehabilitation Center, where I million Kenyan shillings to help these vulnerable kids who are so much disabled. Sir, I need the president to stay as president, and I need myself to be a national coordinator. I believe I can do that.
Well said. Back to Abe. So, Abe, while you are answering the question, you said you do not see, in your opinion, the current way of tool of communication is working. I want to understand if you are working, if you are on team change or whatever team you are, what tool, what challenge, the same question, what have you identified as needful to work on immediately?
Thank you, Mr. Lele. I'm going to say this. Right now, we have about 500 and something people on WhatsApp. There is about another 1,500 members for Gatapka that are not part of WhatsApp. So what does that say to us? It say they are not involved. The communication mode we're using is not working. So the reason I say WhatsApp is not the right mode is I see the registered members doesn't add up to WhatsApp. So that's one thing. The other thing is if we can make people believe we have to push into an organization that is legit. And maybe I'm not fair to say this. I work for a university. We don't run programs through WhatsApp. And I see Gatapka as a university. I see 2,000 people on it. I would like to create a mode that works for everybody and it's legit, it's pushed. Because you and I now, we leave our phone, and then when we get back, we have 100 messages. Chances we'll read 2 or 3 because of what we do. I'm not gonna say I've done this. I have my own personal things, but my push is what will work for the organization. I have my personal endeavors. I have my personal organizations in Kenya, but I don't think that is anything to do with what I should do. I've been part of Katapka. I've developed a relationship with this group of people in this country that I think we need to build an organization that is legit and it should move to the next level, which is a multi-million-dollar organization. And I'm not talking about Rotich statement. I'm just talking about how we need to look at the organization in a higher level versus what I do as a person. My daughter has a website. My daughter has a makeup company, but that doesn't mean I should bring that for the organization. It's two different things. So thank you.
Sorry. I mean, I maybe you said you work from the university. I repeated several times saying Dr. But let me get your understanding. How often do you think people would click to a website compared to clicking to a WhatsApp group? In respect, knowing this respectively, that Kotapka has about 14 chapters. And these 14 chapters, each of them has a WhatsApp group. I'm not saying WhatsApp is the only communication tools to be used, but in your voice, you are more objected to the WhatsApp.
Yes, sir, I am.
So what do you want them to do with these WhatsApp groups again?
I'm going to repeat this. 500 and something people on WhatsApp. 2,000 people are registered. I don't think it's a fair statement to say people are engaged on WhatsApp. The few are engaged on WhatsApp. But the organization itself, the registered members are not paying attention to WhatsApp. I just think we need to have a mod of communication that will get us the 2,000 people instead of the 500 people. So I believe
what's your best tool? To cut the story short, what's your best tool?
Yes, sir, Mr. Lele. We need a vibrant website for Gatapka.
Okay, thank you. And I asked you a question. You circumvent question. I said, compare what website that you are talking about and WhatsApp. What is the probability of someone clicking to get a communication from WhatsApp versus searching website, whether it's your email or just direct website? What's the probability? Which one has a high probability of being checked at the current generation?
Yes, WhatsApp is very simple. We wake up and if you're a member of it, you see it. I'm gonna go back to what I say about CNN.
No, it's done. It's done. And you've answered the question. WhatsApp is very simple. You wake up from your bed and you click to it. That is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
if
it's
I hear
not
you.
good for the organization. That's what I'm gonna say.
Thank you. Thank you. We proceed. What when we are done with that, by the way, I point to a time. We are now 9:05. I promised us that I will take you to 9:23, and then we will get the next presidential vice president debate. When you have done your job as a coordinator, what do you want us to use as a mark of assessing your success or failure? This is a question that I ask every group. Dr. Kano.
Thank you so much for asking me that question. I believe I have, is it 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes?
1.5 minutes. If you want more question, you answer briefly.
My success criteria is as follows. I have a background in military. My success criteria is, did I do my job that is according to the bylaws? Did I make sure that Kotapka is heard in TikTok? Is Kotapka in Facebook? Is Kotapka in WhatsApp, as you said? That is number one. Number two, are we communicating from Kotapka chapter to Kotapka International? Kotapka chapter to Kotapka International. Are the youths getting that information that we, the Kalenjin community, have a forum called Kotapka? That is my success criteria. Sir, we cannot chase the butterflies. We just have to grow flowers and make it so beautiful, and the butterflies will come for us. I'm trying to make sure that when we make this Kotapka to be so amazing, it can be felt everywhere, the people will be attracted to join Kotapka. How are we going to do that? I have a list of scholarship here. We can give our youth. I have a list of people. If you join United States Air Force, what are you going to do? I have a list of stuff that we can do together. I've written grants. I can teach our youths on how we can write grants. People will be like, if I join Gotapka, I'm going to learn how to write grants.
The question you answered, and you are proceeding to say other things. The question was very clear. What do you want us to use? And you've said, I wish you had stopped on flowers and not butterflies. Thank you. Kipchirchir, the same question. What do you want us to use assess your legacy?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So to assess my success, is when all chapters feel they are heard, they are connected to the GI and to other chapters. When we have had the opportunity to highlight the successes of many chapters, including their individuals, when we have communicated clearly so that we have our talented professionals in any field coming in and even sponsoring our functions, because when we have a communication that is very clear, members will feel valued, they will feel empowered, and they will belong. So once I'm able to communicate that through timely announcement, regular member updates, and better coordination from the leadership to the chapters, and even just between the chapters. And when I highlight all these successes from different chapters, other chapters will see, and then we all build each other and we grow. I see that being the success, where the members are heard and the chapters are valued and leadership is trusted, not questioned, because communication will be flowing very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are muted, sir. You are muted.
I will proceed now to get questions from the audience. I may not be able to read the names.
Lele, can I answer the same thing? What is the success? I think it would be.
I'm giving you that chance, sir. I'm just notifying you. Okay. I'm just notifying you that after this, we proceed to take a few questions from the audience. Proceed.
So what is success? I hold the position now. So, sorry, I got to put myself on video to make sure it's me, right? Okay. Right now, we have about 30,000 followers on TikTok. We have about 550,000 people that are viewing us every month. Those are good successes. The other thing was what I consider success beyond today is being able to really take it to the next level, which is what else can we do? My opponents now are talking about doing this, doing that. All those things have been done. They're in place now. The question is, how do we ramp it up to the next level? So if you talk about TikTok, you talk about Instagram, you talk about followers on Facebook, we are talking 500,000 people that are following Gotapka. You talk about YouTube. We are generating revenue out of YouTube that I created. So our next success is, how can we be the Bill Gates? How can we be the next big company? So thank you, sir.
Dr. Abe, you are spending your time answering a question that I did not ask because you have already answered. I hope you, in your opening, you answered something to relation to your question. But let me understand this. As you talk like an experienced person. Once again, this is not being on your toes or on your neck, just being relevant to this question. What position do you hold currently?
So I'm a very experienced person, so let's get that right.
No, in Kotapka, what position do you have currently in Kotapka?
A national coordinator, and I respect the position.
You are a national coordinator. You will bring change. What exactly are you proud at this point that in your tenure to this date you have brought change? What exactly stopped you from bringing the changes that you want to bring now?
Nothing stopped me. I brought the changes. One, when I inherited the WhatsApp group, let's start with that. We had only 198 people. Right now we have 581 people plus on that. That's a proud thing. With my team, the current team of executive team, we went from 700 and something registered members to 2,000. And I will not apologize for that. We are doing amazing work. I've been part of the prevalent committee. I've been part of the groups that we are helping Kenyans. We are helping Kalenjin people. So I don't know if that's a fair question because Katapka is growing. And my struggle with this statement is people make it sound like there's nothing happening with Katapka. We are growing big time. So respectfully, sir, we are growing and we're going to continue growing if I'm part of it. But I'll be part of it as a member. I win or lose. That's what's going to happen.
Clarification. That is not an unfair question. It is based on your experience. You are in incumbent, and everybody would wonder when you say you want to bring change and the changes you have them on your tiptoes, anybody would want to understand why have you not effected the changes now? Please, there's no unfairness to that point. Indeed, the next question that comes to you is not again unfairness. It's a follow-up question, like I said, from the audience. And the question goes, how did you get to GI position when in the chapter that you come from Arizona at the time had not enough members to get you nominated from which is required 15 and then it was 12. Could you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, first of all, who say I'm from Arizona? Who say I'm
That's
from
why
Arizona?
I'm asking a question. I'm saying this is a
registered
question from.
I can clarify. I can clarify that, moderator, as well. He's registered through the national office. So
yes,
the
that's why
came from the national office.
the question comes here. A question, nominated by the chapter of Arizona. I was nominated to GI because Arizona had only 12 members and you need 15 to be nominated again. He has not attended BBG's of Arizona chapter. So you are not supposed to be emotional on this. If it is a wrong thing, if it's a wrong thing from the audience, just clarify yourself.
Okay, let me clarify this. My family and I, since I've been part of Gotapka International, I've registered. Check my wife. Her name is Carol Bateman. We are all in the national office. The reason I got involved with Arizona, I work in Arizona. I don't live in Arizona. I just work there. Me and Tanya helped Arizona grow. So over time, I've supported Arizona. So and the reason it's frustrating to me is this is exactly why we shouldn't use WhatsApp. These are the things that people are saying on WhatsApp, and I don't think it's a fair statement. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to condone that.
Once again, yes. Once again, and I'm sorry to take time. Once again, when you put yourself in such position, all the questions will come to you. You need to just stay sober and answer the question.
Oh, I understand, sir. I understand.
Yes, if you don't come, if you don't come from Arizona, if you don't have come from Arizona, the question is, how did you get to GI? And that's it. Are you from a chapter? Were you nominated from a chapter? Or how did you get to the
registered
level?
at the national office. I'm registered at the national office.
Thank you.
My family and I are registered at the national office.
Yes. Thank you so much. Do not let us not go to a point that you feel frustrated at this point. I don't want you to feel that way. Jane.
Yes.
What have you identified as the real challenge that at this point you want to deal with in the entirety of the office? Not necessarily a tool of communication. What is the big issue that you see in the office of coordinator?
The inability to actually manage the communication channel. We cannot say, I would not say that I cannot have 2,000 people in the forum. When you have clear guidelines on the communication, you will be able to manage that. And that is something that the current or the national coordinators in the past, maybe even including the current, have not been able to manage. When we talk about 500 people in the forum, it's because there's been a lot of toxicity. And then what happens is the forums are shut down. We need to have clear guidelines. And that is the reason why I mentioned we have members who just want to get the resources to hear what is happening and they move on. And then we have members who like to engage. And that's why I said we will have a communication channel and then we'll have the engagement channel. Both will be official. The silent majority members, the 2,000 who don't want to, the 1,500 who don't want to be in that one, they can still see the progress of other chapters and partake of what is happening in the GI without the noise. And that is what
Thank you. I think we have a few minutes and I wanted to allow you people to make your statement, but Dr. Kano.
Yes, sir.
And a question that will go also, it's a related question, but in a different form. How do you deal with conflicts? Because I am sure conflicts is what reigns in an organization in most cases, and you are the coordinator. How are you going to deal with conflicts?
Thank you so much, sir. Different people have a big military background, very many conflicts. I work in corporate America, different conflicts. I am a father of two, different conflicts. I am a husband, different conflicts. Very many people have different personalities. You have to measure. As a national coordinator, we are dealing with a different generation right now. You have to measure their conflict. You have to understand where the person is coming from. Sometimes you are the problem. I found myself that I'm the problem sometimes. I found sometimes that the other person is the problem. Where can we get the midline to come together as a team? Where can we talk as a team? If the youths are feeling that they are disconnected with Kotaka, I'll go and reach out to them using different communication channels and ask them, hey guys, hey gentlemen, where can we come together as a collective responsibility so that we can coexist as a symbiotic relationship between Gotapka and the chapters?
Thank you. So that we don't delay the next interview. Abe, the same question, please. How do you deal with conflict? And I'm sure being an incumbent, you've dealt with it.
Thank you, Lele. Thank you. First of all, is you have to understand what the conflict is about. Secondly, is you got to directly communicate with the people that they're having conflict. And then from there is and I'm going to use for WhatsApp. You guys have heard what I do. I will call the person. I'll talk to the person. And if we disagree, I will tell them this is the parameters of what we do. And if they disagree, I will make sure I stop the behavior. And most of the time, a lot of them will just say, yes, sir, thank you. We appreciate you calling us. And I solve the issue. I haven't had a lot of issues actually when it comes to how people feel on my decision with conflict. And the other thing is, misinformation has been our biggest problem, and probably as a person with the news, you know that it's been the biggest problem. Somebody will post something, and everybody run with it. And as the national coordinator, I have an obligation to make sure, hey, that's not really it. This is where the issue is. So a lot of the conflicts I've dealt with is to make sure you calm the waters, and at the same time you say what is the best thing for the organization. And my mission is the organization.
Thank you so much.
So that's where I believe in. I feelings for people is not my thing. Feelings for the organization is what we believe in as an organization. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So that you have ample time to adjust your statement. Let's begin with the lady.
I haven't answered that question.
I said it was in relation to what I was asking you, but if you want to put it in part of your statement, it's okay. It's your time now. I'll give you, instead of 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, I'll give you 1 minute and a half.
Okay.
Together with your statement.
Okay, to resolve conflict, you have to look at the organization guidelines on conflict resolution. And when it comes to GI, we will follow that. And then if it cannot be resolved, there is an office that is created for that in GI, and that is the OCC. And that's where we will direct them to that. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for allowing me this opportunity. It's great to belong to Kotabka. I want my family to belong. I want to bring my children back to Kotabka Forum. WhatsApp is the best place because we all have access to that. And I will work with the team to create other channels and see what works best. So far, I do know that LinkedIn will work best, for our youth because that's where they are. And I want to also thank our current president. She's done an amazing job. And I look forward to all of you voting for me because Kotapka, we are blessed and talented with so many people, and we need to highlight these people and we need to reach out to them to be able to come in and support our 501c status by sponsoring us, by bringing in the resources that we can tap into. And above all, just utilize that for cultural immersion. That is going to happen because our children want to belong and they want to learn our culture. And the only way is through communication. We have to communicate and we have to connect them. Kotabka is great and has great potential. And I believe with the right communication person, we are headed for the best. Kongwe.
Thank you so much. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Kano,
Yes,
your
sir.
final statement. I allow you to ask your vote. Finally. And this is the first time I have made a smile.
Thank you,
Not
sir.
because I'm campaigning for you, but for all the audience.
Thank you, sir. How many minutes are you giving me?
1 minute.
1 minute, thank you. So, kotap kutit, asame gurayat, nebo national coordinator. Anendet Oscar Brutarab Kino, PhD, agim nyigeindet nikiyatutagab lelachek chemi chegamo. Kasam kurayat, ngaminginetab kiale. Amneni kiobityo asiretyo kokoyama. Kwamuchige chogosta kokoyama. Give me this chance to be a national coordinator. We are growing so fast, and I want to continue mentoring our youths. Go Birura Chova, Agogonaga Sartando you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, the talk, I am sure you have breathed for now. You can go 1 minute. I also allow you, like I have allowed the rest, to ask the vote. Maybe this is the last moment for any candidate to ask a vote in such a platform. Please, talk.
Man, Kongwe, Mr. Lele, Kongwe Gladys, for what you guys have done. This is amazing debate. I love debate. When I used to be a coach, that was one of the things you do. So, but I want to say this, my fellow Katapka members. I don't come with promises. I come with what I've done. The last 2 years, I've been your national coordinator. We have seen growth. We have seen disagreements. We have seen areas that we don't think we should go there. But I've been a steady leader. Last night, Madam President said, when Mr. Bittok talked, we don't know if we should really listen because he's an older gentleman. My commitment is to Gotham success. My commitment is not about me. So as we move forward for the next 2 years, I ask all of you to vote me in to create the structure that will be something our children and the next people that will run will see. I'm not a person that is coming here saying, I will do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. I've done it. It's on record. So I ask for your vote because I believe we are on a trajectory that is going to guide us into a very successful organization. So thank you. God bless Kotabka, and whoever wins, let's all support them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lele.
Thank you so much. Our time is expended. Thank you. I had promised us to 9:23. I've been generous enough to give you 2 minutes. And thank you for accepting to be on this debate. The upcoming at around 9:30 will be the Vice President's debate. I want to sincerely thank you, the three candidates for National Coordinator's Office, for accepting and presenting yourselves in this debate. I will repeat that this interview is coined on professionalism and not partisans and impartiality. I have asked questions not because I wanted to please certain quarter. You would confirm, every one of us, if you want to confirm today, that for the three of you, I don't know anybody of you. I hardly remember if I've ever met any one of you. And so I have had no reason to take a prejudice or to be passionate. So the questions have been asked, they are objective and as required. I wish you all the best, each one and every one of you, the best. It is a vote to be cast. The voters will decide. If this debate will inform their choices, so be it. If anything else between now and the election will inform this, so be it. My work is just to help you present yourself. Please continue to uphold the respect to the end, and even if you are elected after this. To the audience, thank you so much for being there so that you can get informed of your candidates. When you take the task of choosing or electing, you now have maybe some information you did not have prior to this debate. Thank you so much, the GEB board, for allowing the national coordinators to be in this debate. We close this debate, and in a few minutes, 3 or 4, I will be back for the vice president's debate. Because all the vice president's debate are here, I will still remain on the same. Be reminded, it's a professional interview debate. For the sake of you and your audience, take it to be your tool to present yourself, not the moderators, not the organizers, not the voters. The voters are here only to see how you present yourself. Anger, calm, whatever. Nicholas Lelay, my name. I hand over you now to our GEB coordinator, Gladys Tanui.
Thank you, Mr. Lele. Thank you, Dr. Oscar Keino. Thank you, Abe Bitok, and thank you, Jane, for that debate. We appreciate your time. And I think the members have heard, and they will make informed choices. We appreciate Abe's work for the last 2 years. He's asking for next level. Oscar is asking for change, and Jane is also asking for change. So members, this is your chance. Go look at their manifestos. You've heard what they have said. They've also answered very tough questions. They have clarified on statements made, and they have even apologized for some of the things that may have been misconstrued. So we appreciate you for all that, because that is integrity at work, and this is what these leaders are all bringing to the table. You know that they are quick to apologize, they are quick to clarify things. And Jen said the youth will be coming, so we appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. As we move on to the next session, we will follow the same format. We had the candidates introduce themselves, and then I think we're giving them 2 minutes for the vice presidents to give us, maybe let's give them 3 minutes to kind of introduce themselves. And then when we get to the question session is 1.5 minutes, correct, for answering and rebuttal, Mr. Lele? So they're clear on the
I will not give them 2 minutes. We can give them 2.5. So
2.5.
1 hour is a very short time.
Okay, so 2.5 to
But
introduce themselves.
yes, but I appreciate them that they are here already.
Yes, they are here, and I think they're ready. They've been itching to be ready. They wanted to go even earlier, but we said let's give them the limelight here as we look at their manifestos, because they're coming. You know, the vice presidents have to be just as ready as the presidents, correct? Whoever the second, they should be ready to answer the call if something happens to the top chair. So, you know, we gave them extra time to be able to answer those tough questions. So 2.5 minutes to introduce yourself, 1.5 minutes to rebuttal or answer questions. And then we posted Mr. Lele's number on the WhatsApp groups. If somebody has questions, please send them to him directly. Those questions are being sent. So let's not complain when you don't send questions, if somebody else is sending those questions. So please send those questions if you want them asked. So Mr. Moderator, if you're ready, can we make sure we can hear Mr. Kogo? Are you able to speak?
Yes, I can speak.
Okay, and then Abraham Rotich, are you able to, can we hear you? Can you say hello?
Hello?
Okay, all right, thank you so much. And then I think we were going by alphabetical order to begin and then backwards to end. So Mr. Kogo was going to go first, but karibu sana, Mr. Moderator, if you have any follow-up instructions for them, this is your time, and I will hand it back over to you. And thank you, the audience, for being here as well.
Thank you so much. Probably, you know, I'm a Kalenjin, as you are. The outgoing, the preceding debaters, they are all speaking in Kalenjin. I think today they were not having a challenge. Let me appreciate them for that. And maybe somebody would say, I laughed for the first time. I smiled for the first time. No worries, but it's a good thing for them. We now come to the point, to the next session. Vice Presidents, thank you so much for coming in. I would only want to check again that everybody is on board. There are 2 of them, right? Unless you've added a 3rd one.
Nope, that's it.
Inga di lengalenji ngo gijore tumda ngeteni je prilede ngeteni lago manaji wen tungo mangu taru siego giko majigi bendi so kalenga ojorji tumdage. But if they're the ones we still welcome all of you. This is Ekalistas Kogo and Abraham Rotich. The order is alphabetical, the last name, Rotich Kogo. So Kogo will begin. And I would say this, like I said, just because I've seen numbers I've added, we have about 69. I hope more will be coming in so that Kotapka will have a very ample time in electing their leaders. I had said a long statement in English. I will say the short of it in Kalenjin. Pororiet of Kalenjin, sanek choma jangadrone kotap kanguni, anan kojo makini sania ngejoroni, anan ngejareta getugul engejoroju mitenguni kimortoi engotap ka. Kai ngonamin chepkomon kot kobajin akorekunen ngoriet ko karon kekas kabit wakat akawendo kele kilyochini chepkomon ini kakoserech kabach lagok kabach chepyoso kerekune ngoroik pichech ko lagok komewach amu kikonomin chepkomon ile kakikereno kichengo acha kichenge chepkomon ketem keisto sikaron komakotokosopchin anan korus chito age nekotom kai konomin gaigai meter chepkomon yekimeche keep ngeep chepkomon ko ngitinye moet anan ko berutietab chepkomon inyagei kotoretin biik alake inyagei ako ieku kora neamdoi ilechi biik alak mobun orana mi chepkomon ngakeshiyono eng tetutioni kakiyat nguni. Welcome all the vice presidents for this debate, and I begin with Gogo. Once again, the time is 2 minutes 30 seconds for introduction. Gogo, you go first. Tell us, introduce yourself, who you are, why you are looking for this position.
Bas, chamgei, konyo bokolenjin, chamgei, chapter sukul, chomi tuyone brane, kikurno Ekalistas Kiplagat Arab Kogo. Mengindetab Kapseret, ing olimbo Uasin Gishu County, kiawe school, ngataune high school, kiawe understand, boys high school. Ang yanget ing yotok awe in JKUAT for information technology, kanetishe in school, agawe biashara. 2010 anyoru green card, anyo emoni ak family nanyu, anyo Alabama, nyatestai, aigasit Alabama, agawe school korang yundang nebo in cyber security and networking. And finally, I end up coming to Houston, where I live right now with my family. I've been the chairman for Kotab Houston for the first for 5 years. I'm actually the former. I go in Kiawagen Gora in Kasti Shegalage. I've been a process assistant in Amazon for a period of 5 years. Agwanyon Kanyo Tai Wongrani, Asamugura Yat, never vice president, never got up international. The reason why I'm going for this LA is because I've seen a lot of things that needs to be fixed. Jamayo nani kiayo nani our seat never president, but kia decide na amu kigesich kando ikchingo un Texas chajane ko ngoi mas pororieta ge agoi masta ge asai krubi wono.
Thank you so much. Next candidate to introduce himself and tell us why he is going for the position, Abraham Rotich.
Kongoi Nicholas Lele, Chamge Kotapka, ak members tukul. My name's Abraham Rotich, and I come from a town called Kaiboy in Nandi County. I went to Chepkep Primary School and then went to Kapsabet Boys High School. Graduated in '98 and had an opportunity to come to the US in 2000. As a fact, I have lived more of my life here in the US than in Kenya. And I got a scholarship to go to Iowa State University through one of our founders, Peter Rono. I graduated in 2005 and worked in the trucking company for a couple of years. And now I work in the IT industry as a problem manager. My job is looking for applications that are causing problems and finding a lasting solution to those applications. I am a former chairman for Kotap, Iowa, and I stepped into that role in 2018 right after the conference. It was in 2019, right at the time when our chapter was at its lowest and no one was willing to step up and lead our community. I stepped into that role and happy to report that myself and my leadership team and the community work very hard to bring our chapter to be a strong chapter. We also worked with different chapters.
Thank you. I don't want you to overuse your time. It's over. Tell us, what position are you holding now at Kotapka?
I don't hold any position right now.
What position have you held previously?
I was a chairman for Kotapka, Iowa, and I was a board member at the GI level.
What are you proud about that position you held?
The unity that we brought to our community.
Thank you. Do you think there's still unity so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is for the chapter to decide, to deceive if there's still unity. Togo, if you are there still.
I'm still there.
Do you have any position currently in Kotapka or previously?
I don't hold any position right now, but before I used to be the chairman for the period of 5 years. So actually, I'm the former chairman.
What did you do that makes you proud?
I just started this chapter. I am actually the founder member. When I came to Houston in 2017 actually, I had to come and gather some friends over here. I just move around. And all of a sudden, I realized that we have a good number over here. So 2019, we went on forming a chapter. And from that time until right now, we have a number of members that is over 125 registered. We still have other members to register, but I'm proud that I've gathered them and we have registered this organization as 105C13.
Thank you so much. Back to Rotich, just stating, which camp are you at this point? You are vying to be whose vice president?
I am with Team Next Level.
The next level. That is Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Fogo, you seem to have had a Damascus. Last week, you were here with a tag of neutrality. At what point did you cross the Damascus Bridge? And at this point, when you crossed the Damascus Bridge, to whose side are you aligned?
Thank you, Arab Lele. Thank you. That's a very good question. So initially, from the time that I came up for this position, actually, I was coming as an independent. The reason why I was coming as an independent, I saw Kotapka so divided. In terms of even the chats in the forum, I saw that these people, they need somebody who is very neutral. And last week, because of the urge of the people, as per manifesto says that I will be a leader that is member-centered. So I decided to listen to the members, both from local chapter and from the other chapters, calling me and saying, Kogo, please, we need you. We need your leadership on team change. And I hear the call and I had to cross. And because I believe on change, I had to change myself first. So I decided to change and cross the border and then join my good friend Kipnusu so that he will be the next president.
You. I want to get this from both of you and back to Rotich. Rotich, what does the bylaws of Kotapka International say about the office of vice president?
The, the responsibility of the vice president is to work with the president and support the president's agenda. In absence, the vice president is to step in and take the role of the president.
Talk about election of a vice president. Do you know anything that the bylaws state about?
Can you repeat that question again?
To be specific on that question, do you know anything the bylaw states about election of a vice president?
What I know is the vice president is an independent position that is elected by the registered members.
Good. Kogo, do you agree on that sentiment that the vice president is independent? Before I ask this next round of questions related to that.
Yes, of course. I believe that everybody actually is independent, plus the vice president, because there is no combined ticket. There's no combined ticket. Everybody, when you go to the ballot, everybody is on its place. So I believe that the office of the vice president is actually an independent.
We'll get to the next question to you, even as we go to the same question to Rotich. Now that you wanted to vie independent, in as much as the bylaws of GI are silent about this mode or does not pronounce itself on a joint ticket, do you think that was a wise thing for the Gotapka laws to be coined as such? Especially that you could easily, as Kogo, end up being a vice president of a candidate president that you never wanted to, or you are not friends working with. How would you appreciate working with somebody that you ideologically do not agree with when you say you are getting that position on a neutral position?
Okay, let me say it like this. When all these candidates came up to look for these positions, I don't believe that they chose themselves knowing that this one is a good leader. I think they chose themselves having somebody available. When they saw somebody that is available, they say, okay, let me pull this one like this. That is what I believe they were doing. But me, I believe that it could be open enough. Kigojini tukuli nafas. Kocheng kurayat kuyemeji. Koselan policies agol selan manifesto kuyemeji. Atya ko quiz fi kosuke ak policies chega gugunjita anan manifesto naga gugunjita.
Pogo, I want us to make sure that you understand the question and the dynamics of especially what you threw yourself. And probably others have done it before in Gotapka. When you have a president independent with his own manifesto and policies, and you have a vice president, because they are independent, of course, they are trying to sell their manifesto differently, independently. And then they possibly are not friends and are not agreeing ideologically and in working terms. When you both of you with that difference win, how do you work? And that's why I asked, do you think it was wise in Kotapka bylaws authors to have coined the bylaws in such a way?
I think when it comes to tickets, Lele, nowhere actually in the bylaws talks about joint ticket. People just came, they didn't use the bylaws. Actually, the bylaws doesn't indicate that we have to go in a ticket. But what I know is, before even I did my endorsement, I had to make sure that I see what the manifesto of the president is. So when I saw that it is actually matching with mine, his ideologies, his manifesto is actually close to mine, I realized that this is the closest person that I will have to work with. Any discrepancy.
Mr. Gogo, I have to cut you. You are answering a different question. Mr. Rotich, if you understood the question, I can put it again. I said, the authors of the bylaws of Kotapka went silent and did not pronounce itself on a joint ticket. Therefore, the candidates ran independent. And the question is, what if at a point when you differ ideologically, vice president candidates and the president candidate, you win? How do you work together? And that is why I'm saying, do you think it was wise for the authors to have coined the bylaws in such a manner?
I don't think it was wrong. And here's why I say that. The president sets the agenda. The vice president supports the president. The board is included in making the decision. Now, the good thing about our people, Kalenjin, we all come together to do what is right for our people, regardless of what I believe, what the president believes. We all come together to do what is right for our community. Now, as we evolve, I think it's about time to review the bylaws and be able to truly understand, do we want to continue this way? It has been this way since when the organization was put together, and we've not had any issues. We've had vice president and presidents that are on different parties coming together for the best of the organization, and they've worked together. Is it time to review that and say, do we want to continue or do we want to change? I think it's the time to review it again.
Thank you so much. Togo, now, what would you bring, or what are you bringing with you on the table as a vice president?
One, I'm actually bringing the experience that I have in the past leadership. Kiagugondo in the kias fulani, agonganale, atinye that experience. So ngaibu chatinye agatuye ak the president abotiale aibu gitane manifesto ne nyunet ko serat clean aguyo uyu. Ago kotoma amwa gorogyo tagi ameda amwale. Whenever I come to the president, we will unite our views. We will discuss and make sure that we can rhyme on what we are focused together, and then we will be able to combine, and then we will be able to know, because the bylaws talks about if in the absence of the vice president, will the deputy president or vice president take the position of the president. So I kita na amegani shuale getu ya president ki muji ke ngalale age soten gut komi issues te no discrepancies ke soteni ache ke leaden in a cohesive way.
Thank you. Rotich, the same way?
Yes, the president sets the agenda, and as the vice president, my role will be to support the president and to align with the direction that the president has set. Now, in addition to that, there will be roles and responsibilities that are primarily dedicated to the vice president. And part of those is really trying to utilize the strengths that I have. And one of those is bringing chapters together. This is something I've done. This is something that I want to bring to the national level, something that I understand that there's some chapters that are struggling, something I want to be able to bring my experience to uplift those chapters, continue to strengthen the ones that are doing well, and be able to take Kotapka to the next level.
Thank you. You're talking of the next level. The next level of my questioning then. Kogo. So far, even when you have left the office as you are not in campaign, what is the real challenge that might have stirred you to go for this position at this time?
All right, I want to say that the reason why I'm going for this position, I've been the chairman for this chapter, and I've realized that we have a lot of disconnection in our communities. We don't come together whenever we need each other. One time I had issues over here in Houston, somebody died, and we had to really pull all the other communities to come together to unite and support us. So I believe that going forward, or as I fight for this position, is I want to bring all these people to a unity whereby we can be able to see and demonstrate that these chapters are strengthened. The chapters on all our cities, Kingengele, Tindo leadership alage, che mi rangulsi, ko tindo leadership alage che mi issues che lasima ge sandane. As I ran for this office, anganal megan this chapter se ko participating, ko buwa ko participating in AGM, ko bor presentation je chwagete sigi muy ke kombane age megan sure gele karanan chapters in a very cohesive way. Ago allow ni chapters kora got ko muji ko chapters ne ko united in AGM megan sure ale coach powers these chapters ko sounded very well. Ko megan decisions se chwaget, ko megan dates se chwaget, ko mejo ko conference se chwaget, ko megan dates ago megan conference se chwaget. So I believe that I have that capacity to make sure that they are united. That is why I'm running for this office of the vice president. There's a lot of violation of the bylaws. Whenever I check the executive, they are not following all the bylaws that is necessary. I will make sure that the bylaws is followed.
Thank you. We will ask in the next level. Rotich, on the same.
Do you mind repeating the question, Mr. Lele?
Well, the question of how you will deal with all the responsibilities that you have as a vice president. What are the challenges that you are seeing?
The challenges that I anticipate, and it's going to be my biggest thing, is that there are members that are not happy. And my goal is to really understand what their challenges are. We can always work to figure it out, right? Is it the bylaws that needs to be changed? Is there something between individuals that needs to be addressed? The biggest challenge is if those members are not willing or wanting to talk through what those challenges are. Because what I really anticipate into doing in my role is bring the chapters, as I mentioned, together, continue our unity. Because again, at the end of the day, we could do big things, but the base foundation is the unity of our chapters and our members.
I'll say, all of you, including even the presidential candidates, talk of unity. Can I hear from you how you describe this unity in Kotapka? Kogo, how do you describe this unity in Kotapka?
Okay, Lele, we have a lot of disunity in Kotapka. Number one is there's no transparency. Whenever there's no transparency, people will disintegrate. People will go back their ways. This transparency actually is in terms of maybe finances, in terms of the leadership. We find even some chapters, they deny, some leaders, they even deny to get out of office. And then the finances, whenever somebody receives money, whenever it's to do with money, there is no transparency over there. Also, there is a lot of issues to do with diversity of our Kalenjin community. Some, they complain that why this community is doing this to this other community. We don't see the minority. We don't see this. I am learning from the experience because I've been interviewing people in our media. Whenever I see conflict and also politics, whenever there is politics in our forums, it affects a lot. There is no communication. Whenever there is no communication, proper communication, people get disunited. People disintegrate. They go. They don't come together and agree. Now also, whenever we talk about GI reps, they don't carry the issues that is supposed to be displayed in the local chapters to the GI so that they can resolve. If there's any issue, they should be the one escalating to the national office to say that, hey, there's something going on in this chapter. If it is Houston, they say there's something going on in Houston. We need to address this. The GI reps has to take those escalation to them. Also, we need to pave way for the new leadership. If, like me, whenever I was the chairman. So whenever we went for election, I was re-elected again. But as a group, we decided that all of us, we are going to forget the office so that the new leadership will come in. Those are things which is creating disunity in our local chapters or in our communities.
But here, well, it is to put it in Kalenjin, because I've heard you mixing a lot of Kalenjin and English. Let me put it in Kalenjin for you to be heard well. Kele mi bororion di kiko be ate ko tap Kalenjin gori gipsigis nandi tugen sopaot kebeshie yotok. If that is the case, Rotich, do you agree with Kogo on this aspect? Whenever you are not agreeing, what is disunity in your description?
I will describe disunity as members choosing not to come together, members having just some issues. This could be issues, again, I'll use Iowa as an example. When our community hit its lowest level was a misunderstanding between Iowa chapter and the GI leadership. That caused disunity, right? There could be other reasons, like Mr. Kogo described, and I would agree with that. And so all of those, really more members just choosing not to work together, just choosing not to belong, just choosing not to be part of a family of Kotapka. I consider that as disunity.
Thank you so much. Both of you, I want to believe when you talk about bylaws, you have read it. Let me read to you the section of purposes of Kotapka. Cap A. It says, to organize social educational or health promoting activities, or provide support to establishment of educational or health facilities involving members or any other activities within the objective of Kotapka. My question, Kotapka has existed for about 25 years now. Do you know any school or health center or facility that is associated with Kotapka, either in the United States or in Kenya? And if there is none, what could have been the reason that over 2 decades, Kotapka has not lived to see such a development? Rotich.
I will bring one example related to education that we as Iowa chapter is proud of. And that is in 2018, when we held the conference, the proceeds that we received from that conference, the money was used to help a student go through school. And that student graduated through university and is a doctor. And I would say that is one example that we as the Iowa chapter participated in enhancing and promoting education. Now, in terms of a school that is affiliated with Kotapka in Kenya or here, I am not aware.
Thank you. So what do you think on that bylaw? What should be done?
I think the biggest thing that Kotapka really needs to improve on is our financial muscle. Being able to have the financial stability to manage our own activities. And in addition to that, being able to promote the different aspects of Kotapka initiatives is going to really be a big thing for us.
Thank you. Kogo, the same question?
All right, I know the bylaws talks about continental USA. All the functions as by the bylaws is supposed to be done here in the United States, not any other place, unless we adopt and ratify the bylaws to do any other thing outside United States, like in Kenya. Number two, I know to do with functions that we do over here, or what has hindered us not to do anything over here in the United States, is that we don't have sufficient sponsorship. We don't have sufficient finances to control any program. Like the way my brother is talking about IO. Over here in Houston, what we normally do whenever there's an issue, maybe to do with the law, ngangalale gutit kora so kasagot pa tiem agot mama ngolong gut committee. So ngot committee na kaginam kiumige age a lawyer as a community age present especially the leadership of Houston over here. Ke present and gay age umji age tore tito gile lawyer at least ke lakini from the proceeds from the GI ke gere gele mami amu matindo functions amatindo enough sponsorship ago ngaino our office I believe in yale with the help of the coordinators and those people who can draft our proposals, we can be able to get these sponsors to make this organization run smooth.
Sure.
Mr. Lele,
Yes.
just one quick correction. The student that Iowa sponsored was in 2008, not 2018.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. The next question. This is from our audience. You mentioned about board and the president. Does the president chair the board? And do you think he should? Given that there could be a conflict, the president could bring his ideologies, and the board could be meant to be a checkmate to the presidency. Rotich.
During my time at the board, there was no conflict with the president chairing the board. And there was a great working relationship between the board members and the GI executive. And to me, during that time, I did not see any conflict.
So you uphold that there's no problem if he or she continue chairing the board.
As far as my experience, there was no issues. If there are issues that has been experienced, I think that is something that needs to be addressed.
Thank you. Kogo.
Yes, I agree that as by the bylaws, it says that the president should chair the board. And it should be like that. Anything coined during campaign whereby somebody comes with a long manifesto, if it is vice president or the president, with that manifesto that somebody comes in with, actually the bylaw, it doesn't recognize that. The only thing that it recognizes is if you are elected to the office, you have to chair the board. And chairing the board means that you are being checked by the board members what to execute and not what to execute.
Thank you. So you as the vice president are in the middle of the executive. There is a national coordinator. There's a president who seems to be the one to call the shots. And there's the coordinator who seems to be the one running the race to meet what the president wants to be made. How do you, or how is your office demarcated in your responsibilities to make sure there is no conflict between you, the president, and the national coordinator? When you get to the office, the three of you as executive. Back to you, Rotich. How do you understand the demarcation of your office to avoid any conflict?
Once we take office, I think it's going to be one of those key things that we all, as the GI executive, have to level set, as that we all will be working as one team, regardless of what camp you came from, that our responsibility will be to do what is best for our members. And that would include that always having the best intent in all the actions from your peers and making sure that everybody is doing what is expected of them as per their responsibilities. Any instances of misunderstanding, that we all come together and try to address it and make sure that we are being receptive to feedback and being receptive to correction and making sure that we have a good working relationship.
Thank you. How would you, Kogo, to answer that question? Then I will proceed to the next question. Sorry about that.
Okay, I know there are two people who are very close to each other, where the roles are almost the same. That is for the president and the vice president. The first thing, I'm going to make sure that me, as the vice president and the president, sounds one thing, because his roles and my roles is almost similar. Number two, the national coordinator is a very important position. It's a communication director, whereby all these chapters has to be communicated by the national coordinator. We make sure that every now and then we just communicate to each other and make sure that our roles are played to the maximum. Another thing is that as vice president and controlling the AGMs, like I will be the chairman of the AGM, I make sure that I work hand in hand with the national coordinator, because whenever he makes sure that he communicates, I make sure that also I'm in charge of these AGMs to make sure that every chapter is knowing what is taking place in the preparation of AGM.
Thank you. Now, when you go to the office, when you get a chance, I want to understand, do you have ambitions to be the president? And if you have ambition to be the president, how do you manage a situation of incumbency, like some of your colleagues that have gone ahead of you, so that you don't come to such a forum one point and you get yourself in a problem of answering questions, blaming someone for the failures of a regime that you are? Rotich.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Lele. I would say my biggest thing right now is really giving back to my community, the GI community, bringing my experience from the local chapter to the national level. My role at this point is to do my best and be able to see how I perform. This is going to be something that I will be able to decide, and members are going to decide on how I'm performing. And if I feel that I'm doing well and the members feel like I'm doing well, maybe it's a mutual agreement at that point to be able to say, come election in 2 years, come election in 4 years, maybe Abraham, you are the right candidate to step in to continue the great work that you've done the last 4 years, or vice versa, right? I didn't do well and the members didn't feel like I did well. Then at that point, really something that I should not continue. So a long way to say that is something to be determined as we go along.
Just to ask a question, which side again, or just for clarification, which side are you packing?
Team Next Level
Whose
with Vincent
do you
Tumbai.
want to be? Team Next Level with Vincent Sumbai and the national coordinator.
Abe Bitok.
Abe Bitok. Well, Abe Bitok was on this position that you are now, the debate. Abe Bitok mentioned something. He said, it is not what Kotabka is giving. So I will ask this question also to Kogo. Everybody seems to be like they want to do things to Gotapka. So what is Gotapka to do for you? What are you expecting from Gotapka? Rotich.
What am I expecting from Kotapka? What I expect from Kotapka members is to be given the opportunity, to be given the chance to work together, to move on the agenda of our organization. That is what I expect from Kotapka. It's kind of one of those is you're trying to drive the bus or you're trying to make a move in a certain direction. And if everybody's going the opposite direction, you make it very difficult. Give me an opportunity, allow me to work with you so that we can be able to advance. That is what I ask from Kotapka.
Mr.
Did
Lele,
we
we
lose,
can hear you. Okay.
did we lose Lele?
I think he's here. He's not muted. Mr.
Yeah,
Lele,
I'm
can
here.
you hear us? Okay.
You get me?
Yes.
We can hear you
Yes,
now.
I hear everybody. You hear me? I don't know what happened, but I never
Yeah, we hear you.
unmuted myself.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the same note, Kogo, what I wanted to hear from you is how you deal with the burden of incumbency. If so, you have an ambition to be the president, so that you don't, in the end of the term, find a reason to blame the president for the failures of the president or shortcomings, because you want to climb to the same position. And to the last question that he said, that I quoted the vice president from team next level. That is, what do you expect from Gotapka? Not only given to Gotapka.
Okay, let me say this. When I endorse the presidential candidate, I mean it. Whereby I agree with everything that he has on the table, the manifesto and everything. Number two, those things that I don't understand, it is my work with him right now to make sure that when I get to the office, I go to the site with the president, talk with the president, and then make sure that if anything happens and I accede to the office of the president, I will not be able to carry the blame to the president, but I will be able to be responsible because I've understand and I've agreed that it's me now running this. Number two, about what do I expect from the Gotapka? Is this a volunteer work, Arablele? Nigo gagigon ge kapsagele ameja leaden kui ago like any other volunteer work. Igo nuge gileji nige kwa moyo wangu wote nataka nifanyie kazi. Kita kityo na expecta nigo kogon nagebi kogon cooperation ago acceptan kole okay, I've come to this position as a volunteer and I need their support. And also, whenever I will be done, thank you. Thank you, Inege, and I will be good.
Thank you. While we still have more about not 12 minutes, but about 8 minutes, I want to give you one more question, then I will give you a chance to give your statement. Rotich, what are two significant achievements that you will want in the end of your term for us to look and say, surely, this is what you did good?
Number one is bringing our youth along.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting old. And when you go to a conference, the adults used to be a larger number and the kids were a very small number. Now the tables are starting to turn. And we are starting to get to a point where our children are starting to outnumber us. And if we don't make a very special initiative to prepare our youth to take over Kotapka. In a matter of time, there will be no Kotapka. And so
Thank you.
what I really would like to happen is we mentor our youth, we engage our youth, we let our youth come onto the table, and we have them really kind of be part of Kotapka and really take step into the leadership roles.
Thank you so much.
Other item, the second item is to be able to bring in more chapters. Madam President and Vincent Sumbai and that team have improved our chapters from 12 to 16. That is great progress. We've been stuck at 12 for a long time. We've made that improvement to 16. Our goal is to bring more chapters at the different states to be part of Kotapka.
Thank you. I don't know. I don't know whether it's my connection or your end. At some point, you had some staccatos. Rotich, you've answered that. Now we go to Gogo. The same question. Two
Can you ask
main
can you
things
ask
that you would
again?
want us. The thing is, what after at the end of it all, when you've won the position and you've served your term, you want to say these are the two things, main things that you will say, surely these are my achievements, the best of my best.
Okay, as Vice President, I know there are many things. I will incorporate my efforts to work with the executive to make sure that this program and the legacy for that team. I was thinking that, especially with our youth, one time, Mr. Lele, to the end sports ile ya Sunday ya kumalizia nini. So we were playing like Houston team. At my age, I was playing with somebody who is 21 years old. So I was thinking that now it is time to nilichoka sana. So it is time for us, the whole generation, to make sure that we pave way for the younger generation. Mwige foreman gele kongetege 20 away 30 and then kongetege 10 away 20 go playing go bunch sports sege entertain ne sege magane youth were connected. What I will be interested to see is the success of our youth, because these are the next generation. And if we don't have programs that will help this younger generation to come together, Kotapka won't prosper as much as it should be. So we need to take care of the younger generation. Keep the initiatives, keep programs that will promote them to come together.
Lele, are you still there?
There,
Okay.
but I think the internet is not acting well
And
for
you're
me.
cutting off. You're
I
cutting
think
off.
it's your connection. It must be your
Yeah,
connection.
I think my
Mr. Lele.
connection is not doing me a good service. I'll have to check, but let's proceed. I'm hearing you now. We're almost the end.
Okay.
Well, while we go towards the end, Gladys would want to ask a question, each of you.
All right. On behalf of GEB, on behalf of the members, I think we see the role of the VP as over the last couple of years as the role of the conference chair. So I would like to know both candidates, because either one of you that's going to win is going to be the next conference chair. So I've heard a couple things, and I will start with Rotich. Do you believe in the last conference that Iowa held? I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, after the conference, there seemed to have been more disunity among the members because of that. Do you feel like the role of the national office and the role of the local chapter, how did they intersect, and what improvements would you make? I think one of the teams, your team is proposing GI as the overall board, and the other team is proposing a 50-50 kind of component. How would you Rotich handle that, and what are your recommendations based on previous experiences? And also, as the new, if you become the new VP, that will be your docket. How does that work?
My recommendation is to continue doing what has been done the last 4 years in terms of putting the conferences together. This is GI bringing in the money and the local chapter being involved in all of the day-to-day decision in running the conference. This option has allowed any and all chapters to be able to host a conference. The 50-50, in my opinion, will be something that could be done with the bigger chapters. The small chapters, this is something that they will not be able to do it. And I, from my perspective, I support continuing the model where the GI brings in the funding.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you done? So are you done, Mr.?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you
Yep.
so much. And then Mr. Kogo, same question, but also based on your previous experiences. As the chair of Houston chair when the conference was in Houston, I believe also, I think there was a little bit of fallout after the conference. How would you address that from the same question, 50-50 versus GI? And if things fail, who is to blame? Is it the local chapter that is resourcing? For example, the food situation in Houston that has been talked about in the forums. Who do you think is to blame for that instance, for example? Is it a joint problem? Is it a local problem? Is it a GI problem? Help us with that as well for the members, given that you might be the next VP, and if you were, then how would you handle that?
All right, Gladys, thank you so much for that question. As you know that whenever we go for AGM, we have a lot of functions to do over there. We have election going on. Sometimes during the after 1 year, we don't have election on that year, but after another 1 year to be 2 years, we have election. We have presentations that they normally do. We have preparation for the next AGM and other small things that we do. One thing that we have to do is that these chapters, whenever GI comes to the chapter level, I've realized there's what we call a core team of organizing. Make sure that we include all the leadership of that chapter. And make sure that whenever anybody that is running for office, whenever they are running for this office, they should not infiltrate any division in your chapter. Because I see like now, Ayo, this is my own opinion. This is my own opinion. We know Kim Nusu is running for president. And he indicated before that he will be running for president. And I don't know if it was a master plan to make sure that they create division to look for a running mate in that chapter again, something like that. I'm just thinking. Those kind of things should be avoided completely. Whereby if I am the chair of any functions like that, AGM, I make sure that there is a relationship between the core team that are organizing the program and the chapter. Number two, we also need to give the chance those local chapters to decide where to do the function and when to do it. Because if you go to a case like Alabama, they are talking about Huntsville, and some are talking about Birmingham. Those are discrepancies that they have to come together and say that, okay, we don't have to do this. In Houston, we had issue with the food. I know it was actually the problem. Somebody explained about that. We had the issue with the vendor, whereby the vendor didn't manage to come on time for the dinner. So I make sure that all these programs will run smoothly. Communication with the help of national coordinator, we need to make sure that each and every step that we move, we communicate. If there's any issue to address, President, I will advise him to make sure that he delegates responsibilities to the board members, to make sure that everything to do with the organization of that chapter, if there's we have departments, we have like sports department, we have like this department. We don't want people to the night event and the day event. We don't want them to have different in opinions on how to carry the activities for the night and
Thank you
activities
so
for the
much.
day.
I think
Thank you.
we have expended our time. And I really wanted to ask one question I should have asked all of you, the president and everybody in Kotapka. Now that you say you don't expect anything in Kotapka and you're only volunteering, do you think Kotapka should have some offices as full-time job for some few 2 or 3 people so that they run full-time to ensure Kotapka has the energy and the manpower that is required to achieve its purposes without Kogo saying I'm vice president but I'm doing other things to pay my bills, or the president saying I'm running other things to what I mean, what do you think, Rotich?
I think that's going to
This is a
come
bonus
down.
question.
I think that's going to come down to the financial stability of Kotapka International. Yes, if we say we're going to have 2 or 3 people full time, where do we have the funding to pay for it? If funding was not an issue, I would agree. Yes, we should have 2, 3 people full time running Kotapka International. Now, before I drop, do I have an opportunity to respond to a statement made by Kogo?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of, I think there was an assumption that Kogo made, and he said that it is his assumption. And I think, given that I am somebody on the ground that is part of the core planning committee, I think it's wise for me to provide clarification on that. I would say that the coordination and the planning for the conference between the GI and Kotap, Iowa is going well. There was quite a bit of negotiation at the beginning that I feel like we got to a point where we all came to an agreement, and that including the night events, the Run with Kenyans, all that being owned by Iowa compared to what it was done before where GI was owning those events. There's one issue that I did, I wanted to make sure I call this out because it became an issue on WhatsApp, and I want to just really provide clarification on that. And that is the core team, the Iowa core team. There was a request to select a representative to work with the GI. And we, as the Iowa core team, selected Sami Sultan as that person to represent Iowa. Now, hindsight, later on, we realized, you know what, that should have been the chairman, right? And we made that statement. We said that was something that we, as the Iowa core team, made a mistake, and that the chairman should have been the right person to do so. Now, we made the decision to send Sami. At that point, we thought we were doing the right thing by delegating duties because there was nobody that spoke up that, hey, this is not okay. Let's change this, until later on down the road when that concern was brought up. And again, that's the one thing that I feel like we could have done differently, could have done better, and something that going forward that has to be addressed going forward with this GI chapter model.
Thank you. Thank you so much. May I give you, Kogo, now minutes to finalize your final statement, and also after that, Rotich.
So thank you for responding, Mr. Rotich, to what I was addressing. So Lele, I know this organization one time is going to be a huge one, whereby it's going to be everywhere. As we will maybe ratify the bylaws and then got in touch with the founders to make sure that these organizations go further from continental USA. We will have employees. We will have people to work for organization. Every organization, whether non-profit or what, it has to have some employees. Because I was thinking, even in this time that we will be getting to the office, if I will be elected with our team Kimnusu, I was thinking that even things like, we normally hear things like Chicago Marathon, Cast Marathon. Why don't we have even something like Kotapka Marathon? So this organization, as it grows and grows, we will need some employees, whereby they will be paid to do actually the very important things that organizations should run like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Final statements?
Oh, my
Okay.
turn?
Rotich.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, him? Okay.
There's an echo. I don't know. Me, can I proceed?
Yes, proceed.
Okay. So, Amaja Mwagongwe missing for your moderation, Mr. Lele. I know you're a professional guy. I was thinking that maybe let me be patient enough to make sure that I don't miss anything. Thank you, Gladys. Kongoi big chok, kongoi big chemita quick chokoli. Anendet ni ora, ekalista skibla gatara kogo. I'm a very humble guy. I like listening. I have that passion to lead this organization as vice president. Ago, team in Inaganinbo, team next level, we will be working together. Don't worry. We have a space. We will make sure that we conduct you, we hear from you, all the leadership. This is one organization where we believe we need all of us to come together to build this as a very enormous organization. Kongoi missing it, asame ugonagura and quick I will not let you down. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rotich.
Lele, our moderator for the night, Gladys, and the entire GEB team, our members tonight, I want to say thank you so much for your time, for being here for this long. Next thing, Kotapka International has become what it is because of the tireless effort by those who have volunteered to lead this organization. Madam President, Vincent, and the entire executive team, you have done such an amazing job over the last 4 years, and we say thank you. There's a lot of work that has been done, a lot of work that has been accomplished, and really a lot of it we want to protect. A lot of it we want to make sure we continue doing the good things. There's opportunities also, and we acknowledge that there's opportunities to grow. And that is something that this team is coming in and saying, yes, we've done the work. We know how the work was done. We also listen to our members to address those concerns. And we are going to work on addressing those concerns. Anego ajita nealin ngoyaki koya. I am not going to be swayed in a different direction just to fit a certain narrative. Ngoya koya. And I'm going to do what is right for our members. The whole thing about lying, I hate to lie. I made a mistake one time by saying I did not attend a meeting, realized later on that I did attend that meeting. I came up and I said, you know what? I remembered, I was reminded that I was in that meeting at a later time, and I came out and I corrected my statement. Some people say, in siyasa, magi-correcta nige. You die with it. And I told myself, I guess maba siyasa anendat. Because when I do something wrong, I will admit and I say I am wrong and I am sorry and let's move on.
Thank you so
Ata
much.
megura. Ogo nagura ke moving go tapka to the next level. Kongoi, have a good night.
Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful session. If you actually realize, Gladys, we have had a lot of bonuses for this last session. We were to close at 32, I think so.
Mhm.
10:32, and we are now about 5 minutes generously. We have been so gracious, but I want to thank you for participating in this debate tonight.
You're fading.
Again,
Okay.
will have a chance to choose their leaders from an understanding position. If that this will enter, if not that this will inform entirely, of course, which will not, but will help a lot. Much of what the candidates have been selling out there and the few days that remain before election, I believe the debates have contributed towards a better Gotapka. We want to thank everyone that has participated in all the debates that have come to this level and this time. And I want to thank those audiences that have stayed to this far, because I know in some of the parts, in fact, the upper north there, you are all 11 p.m. now, almost midnight. I really want to thank you for the patience and standing by your candidates so that you can understand them. All the best to all the candidates. You, the vice president, Kogo, the vice president, Rotich. I wish you the best. May Gotapka choose for itself the best. And I want to thank you for your time and accepting to answer the questions. Gentlemen, I wish you all the best. And everyone in Gotapka, because this is my last debate that we've had this nature, that at least I have moderated before the election come. I want to wish all the best, all the candidates, all the best one more, and all the audiences, all the voters, all the best. I pray that every one of you get good to be in good health, to the point of electing a leader that you want, so that when the time comes, you will not say, "Yigamnyane, kumawabirgura ya." Ananginama gaman, kumawabirgura ya. Ama kuok, poroinda nagararan, siolebe ngondo kuok, engore nagararan, Gladys.
Kongoi, Kongoi, Mr. Lele. From the GEB desk, we would like to extend our warm health. We are very grateful, Mr. Nicholas Lele, for taking your time 2 times to be able to be with us. We want to say thank you for the presidential debate. Thank you for this one. I know you brought a lot of hard questions, hot seat questions, and we appreciate you for being able to do that for us. I would like to also thank the candidates, the Vice President Rotich, Kogo. Thank you so much for your graciousness. Thank you for answering the questions. It was a very easy, the flow was very good. Both of you, I think we can't go wrong either way. I think whoever wins, it's a win for Kotapka. We appreciate you. We love you so much, all of you. And for the national coordinators, before we thank you so much, Mr. Bitok, Dr. Kano, Jane, we appreciate your time. Thank you for standing up to this call, and thank you for being a part of Kotapka. I want to thank the GEB for according me this opportunity to help to be in the subcommittee for the GEB debate. GEB is led by Faith Towet from the chapter of Houston, and Gilbert from Colorado is the SG. We want to thank him. He was also part of the people helping with this Zoom meeting. We thank you so much. And for the audience, we want to say thank you so much for taking 2.5 hours of your time on a Saturday night. You could have been spending time with your children, with your spouses, but you decided to join us and to be part of this audience. We thank you so much. And we hope to see everybody in Iowa in the next week or less. Jacinta is my co-subcommittee in the GEB debate, and she says, Kamaek, agile tayari Kamaek, agile mitain naitwa nini, mkarango, umesema iko. So hizo vitu mbili tunakuja. Rotich amesema kuna ng'ombe kubwa, so we are very ready to come. We are very excited. Iowa has never disappointed when they host a conference, and I know this is not going to be any different. It's probably going to be even better, because every time there's a function, it gets better and better. We want to thank Kotapka, led by Madam President, Vice Mbae, Ebi Tok, Ngeno, tunasema asante na Treasurer Vincent Ngeno, na I'm forgetting one person, ST Chepto. Thank you so much for your service. We may not get another chance to tell you this, because I think once the election results come out, everything gets animated. But whoever wins, whoever doesn't win, we're all one people. We love each other. We will always be there for each other, because Kotapka remains Kotapka no matter who wins. So thank you so much from the GEB desk. We conclude this meeting, and we would like to have...
Gladys.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm actually, you are lucky you are going to sleep. And members here are lucky they are going to sleep. I will now proceed in the next. Immediately I get out of this, I'm getting to go host another program for 2 hours in CAS.
Oh, wow. Well, that is a sacrifice in itself, Mr. Lele. Thank you so much. But before so that we don't hold you too much, maybe one of our pastors can pray for us. I don't see, all these names are not very familiar. Some of them are just iPhone. Do we have any of our GI pastors here? If not, maybe Rebecca Sitiene, if you're still here, I can ask you to unmute yourself and pray for us, Madam DC, because you've also been doing a wonderful job there with the consulate. Miss Becky, if you're here, sorry to put you on the spot because I'm not sure which pastors are here. So unmute Rebecca, if you want to unmute yourself and pray for us. Unless you had any other last words, Mr. Lele or Gilbert, before we pray. Yep, okay. All right. Rebecca, kama unaweza tuombea, tafadhali.
Ongesa. Jehova kamuktaindet nyakaiwa. Taing'ung saine kuregi. Ngemba uneprani Jehovah. We come to say thank you for a successful and a peaceful debate that has gone on. I pray, Lord, that you continue to lead us in unity and in peace. As we come to vote, Lord, help us to do that which is right before you. We pray for our leaders who are campaigning right now, that, Lord, you give each one of them the wisdom and the knowledge to understand the office that they are willing to take over. Lord, we pray for them that your will be done, that your perfect will be done. But Lord, at the end of it all, we remain as one family in unity and in peace. We thank you, Lord. We love you. We honor you tonight. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen.
And amen. So,
Amen.
thank you so much, everybody. We don't have any other scheduled debates by GEB, but we have a meet and greet on Thursday night when you're at Karibu night. You can come meet your candidates. You can come say hello. And if you have any last minute questions for them, that will be a time to ask them. This year, we'll not be hosting a live debate because they've had so many Zooms and they've been all over the chapters. I think we've had a chance to interview them. And voting is going to be on the 19th. Inaanza at 6 in the morning and goes up to 6 p.m. on Saturday. And GB will be releasing those timelines and any last minute clarifications. And please stay tuned and ask your SG if you have any questions and they can bring it up to the GB forum. Thank you so much. Everybody is excused for the night.
Thank you.
Asanteni.